Hi, I'm Todd Jones. I host the podcast Press Box Access.
Here's a clip from my interview with Mike DeCourcy. Mike was a courtside witness to one of the most unforgettable moments in college basketball history. Christian Laettner's shot to beat Kentucky. 1992, East Regional Final, Philadelphia. It's the all-time college basketball game, or certainly in the debate. Kentucky Duke, the Laettner shot. You're there. Where are you sitting?
I was sitting exactly behind the Kentucky bench on the for the camera position. It's the near side of the court. They're shooting in. Uh, I believe that's where. It was. I was on the near side of the court. Usually they shoot into benches, but in this case they were not. So I was on the side of the court where if you were looking at it, Grant Hill was throwing from the right to the left. And that's where I was behind the Kentucky bench. And it's funny because I remembered being there. And then during the pandemic, when CBS was showing old tournament games to cover the time because they didn't have anything else to show, there was one timeout that you could see me, and I froze it on my DVR and took a picture of it and put it on Facebook because that's where I thought I was. And there I was. And I was looking a lot younger then, too.
You're sitting in the row right behind the bench, the Kentucky bench. Can you hear the huddles? And why didn't you say guard the inbounds pass?
Well, I could not hear the huddles, but I will tell you that I remember distinctly. It was a fabulous game, even without the Laettner finish. It was a tremendous game. It was breathtaking for nearly 2.5 hours. And when Sean Woods dribbled across the foul line and hit the half hook over Laettner, it was an amazing shot. And I remember distinctly saying to myself and getting ready to write on this idea, what an amazing way to end this great game. That's what I thought. I thought the game was over. 2.2 seconds left. What can you do in 2.2 seconds? And I found out what you could do in 2.2 seconds. And I afterward talked to the various people at Duke, and they were saying that Krzyzewski was really confident in the huddle that they could pull it off. And Krzyzewski, you could say that he was just trying to pump his guys up, but in the end, he was right. They were able to pull it off. Should they have guarded the inbounds pass? I think it would have made it easier, but really what they should have done is guarded the guy who received it. You remember Darren Feldhouse and John Pelfrey both backed away, especially John, because they were so conditioned not to foul in that circumstance and so concerned about fouling. And they allowed him to shoot basically an uncontested shot. And that's what made it really easy. If you're going to have two guys guarding the player who's most obviously going to catch the ball, they have to actually guard him. But they worried more about fouling. So I guess in the end, you're much less likely to foul the inbounds passer. So at least make the job hard for him.
Now, I did not cover that game. I was at a different regional. I was with the Cincinnati Bearcats in Kansas City, and I was watching that game. But I have learned a detail about that Laettner play here in Columbus. Jamil Martinez was a big man for Kentucky on that team. And Jamil lives here in Columbus, and I got to know him a little bit over the years, and we'd run into each other, and we inevitably talked about that game a little bit. And Jamil had fouled out, right? And he said that at the end of that huddle before they took the court, the very last thing that Pitino said to the players was, "Don't foul."
There you go.
And Jamel said, that to me was just the wrong message. He wasn't criticizing Pitino, who's obviously a great Hall of Fame coach, but he felt like that was a message to be passive and not aggressive. And he said that was the very last thing that Pitino told the players going out on the court. Don't foul. And like you said, if you look at the way Feldhouse and Pelfrey reacted when Laettner caught the ball, is they backed away.
Yes.
They said they didn't want to foul.
They backed away. That's the don't foul message clearly resonated.